is a Kilson or a Rafa or somebody like that. But at the same time, not make that pin him down and not be creative and flamboyant like he can be in the server, and was what got him on the map to begin with. Is, you know, how he got himself into Maestro Gaming by demonstrating his immense skills. He's also a very good professional. He's super active on social media, and honestly, both of them are. I think Base is, I'd say, even more active than Vengeur in terms of the content that he's pulling out.
Right.
So, yeah, these are both really nice, community-friendly superstar players.
Wow. The big dogs and, of course, the pillars of the community here, though. Both of them on your screens now. Vengeur versus Base. So we're going to be kicking it off. Vengeur, he normally provides us with some outrageously ridiculous plays. So much flamboyant stuff. Let's see what crazy frags he's going to be dishing up tonight.
Spots Base over. The Mega decides, you know what, I'm not going to go in for that fight. A couple of spam shots up at Rail. He's still only got the rockets out of the trifecta, but he's going to find him in a second. Does lay down a decent rocket. That is going to hurt the Base. Now rocket's going to be a bit far. Quite optimistic and ambitious to get that one to land, but it's more just firing off that threat. And in a couple of seconds there, it's going to be the heavy. Base can't get on it. Vengeur's so fast to get around. Base is still finding all of these rails. Oh, he just keeps landing them. He can't find the last one just yet. He might even want to rocket jump out. Yep. Gets away. That was very, very scary for a second for Vengeur.
Yeah, that could have gone awkward incredibly quickly. Luckily enough, he was able to escape and now puts himself back in a position to try and carry on here. All of his stack fully recovered. The ability back in play as well. We know just how effective he can be using it. Oh, it seemed that was going to be the trade. It is. He goes back into the acid. Both of them take each other down too.
The Base didn't move over towards the Mega Health. It was spawning any moment. There's some couldas, wouldas just then from Base, but at least he manages to get the exchange. That's now off the spawns. Who's going to be favorable? But Vengeur is landing a lot of lightning gun. He's going to be able to chase up with it, and Base does not get the punishing blow at the end to slow down what could be pretty scary off the continuation.
It's definitely an exhilarating way to start the game. But how is it going to carry on? Both of them adopting the slower play style here, trying to take it calculated rather than rushing into the unknown. They want to get a clear firefight here, both of them firing down. Vengeur doesn't have the high ground, but gets a nice use off there of his ability to try and force him back. Now holding the defensive angle. That's armor back in play. Also the HP to work with. Grabs himself a tri-bolt on the way down. Meanwhile, Base recovering himself back off, trying to resituate himself.
Vengeur's got good control over a couple of the light armors on the map too, which makes it kind of hard. Oh, he picks him off just as he was dropping down into the water. LG to rail, beautiful stuff there from Vengeur. Couple of frags advantage. Can he hold on to this? Base not hitting the same amount of rails as before, eventually connects with one. I'm just trying to mess with Base a little bit, but it's not working out. And if he hits any more, it's going to be very scary to escape.
You can also see just how effective Vengeur is, the area of effect denial as well, constantly putting out that spit to try and ward off Base and force him into an awkward position each and every time they do get into a kerfuffle. At this point though, coming up to 3 minutes on the clock, Vengeur does have a 2-kill lead thus far, grabs himself the additional armor to try and slay with as he repositions, just poking through the portal right now, Zoo.
I think he knows that Heavy's been taken. He's been played off of both major items. It's now about recovering towards the natural stack and just finding that out of control damage. Vengeur's usually very good at this, but how's he going to do it now? Still about 10 seconds until this item spawns. His rockets are good and he manages to drop Base down below, but I think Base is going to re-aggress. His stack is just so dominant. 2 health left. Mega spawns for him. I do not know how Vengeur's done this, and he almost locks down the kill there and then.
That was incredible. Also, the area of effect coming through, trying to deny the better position there for Base. He just gracefully glides his way out, showing that he can be a bit of an acrobat that excels in these situations. Gets his stock back up as he fully commits to just going on a bit of a gathering spree. And now, once again, returns to the hunt.
Yeah, I don't know how Vengeur's alive.
That was crazy.
Maybe he's the karate guy. He's just ninja'd his way out of that completely. Couple of rails off. Base punishes with one.
Oh, the peekaboo.
Light's been taken already. And Base, some much needed resources for himself though. There's going to be a light going over to Vengeur. And he's kind of playing somewhat passive at the moment, but he really needs to. If he just goes and rushes into Base, it's going to hurt a lot. Just here's a click of the rail, so he's got to get out of there. There is a rail box up here. He's not going for it, and he really needs that rail ammunition. He's just going straight over for the weapon, get the full +10 rather than +5.
Oh, it's so graceful, though, on the way that Vengeur just navigates the map and constantly puts himself into power play position, spots out the wing there, so he understands where his opponent is, just still trying to hold that filthy angle to get the rail to connect back onto base. Now returns to the aggressive play, trying to get up behind him, deviates for a moment to readjust himself with some more armor. That's the spit coming through that should be able to deny the Mega. Instead, though, base, being able to put himself into a nice position, now quickly gets out of there.
Oh.
Finally a bit of struggling with movement.
On the side, base. It's got him on the ropes. What a rail shot from him. That was the piercing sight, to be fair. I was going to say, that would have been ridiculous. That was a little pixel he had between the couple of pillars. Base finds himself a frag closer to Vengeur. Stacks are very even at the moment. Vengeur wants to hold this connector position. And he can also drop down to get the mega health, but base decides, you know what, I want to deny it. I'm going to be proactive myself. But a missed rail, is that going to slow him down enough as Vengeur tries to land these rockets? He finds one right at the end that forces base to take some time, but look how quick he is attacking through the tribal area.
Oh, they're straight back into it as well. There is no rest for the wicked right now as Vengeur is trying to get paid at this point. Goes straight back in, finds the kill, and is really projecting himself further and further through into this one. This has been High-octane already, Zoo.
Oh, the missed shot there. There's the rocket into rail. Vengeur styling at the moment. He's +4 on base. Wait the whole time for that spawn. He's going to find him again, and yeah, Vengeur's got it locked down. He's got so many weapons to work with. He knows exactly where base is coming every single moment. Almost going to just get another 90 damage onto him. Oh man, he's so ready with that weapon, and base comes out again, but there's the heavy off the spawn. He's waiting for it.
Oh, the little dink.
Oh, he needs that health, really. He's actually in trouble at the moment. Not getting the 25 health bubble as actually what killed him just there. And a mistake. There's still 3.5 minutes. 5 frags is some distance, but it's not unfeasible for base to get though.
A man like base get himself back in the game here. As you said, there is still definitely time, but he's got to begin to start the decimation. Rockets coming through, knocks him in the air, trying to get the follow-up off with a rail. Instead, he'll drop his way down, grab the armor, and now try and traverse on foot to catch up with him. There's the rail we wanted to see as he hits Vengeur.
You make that one mistake, Vengeur, are you going to be kicking yourself later? He's kind of forced into this fight to do as much damage as he can. He does decently well, actually. The mega health up in a moment. He's been spotted off the spawn, and that rail is important because Vengeur has too much energy off the spawn, given that he has 125, 100. Vengeur really needs to slow this game down a lot. He's in massive amounts of trouble. Base has made even more headway in this comeback than I was expecting.
He's definitely put himself in a position where it's possible for base to actually get back in the game. Just needs to carry on with this level of aggression. Does pop the visor so he can try and spot him out. I mean, he knows exactly where he is, but getting into the hellhole, the base that essentially Vengeur has created for himself to defend around, doesn't work out too well. He instead opts to back off, grab the Mega, get himself a tri-bolt as well. He now has the high ground, but is Vengeur going to come towards him, Zoo?
Yeah, that is it. He did a little 1 second delay on the mega health before. You never know, that can sometimes be the difference. Just holding ground, trying to find these rails, and Vengeur, it feels like he's kind of killing, sort of half killing the clock, half looking for if there's that single window where he can do some damage unreturned. I think his base is one of the best players at punishing for that. Vengeur's trying to strafe backwards. He's taking a lot of damage. The rockets hurt. It's going to be rockets onto each of them. And Vengeur goes up 9-6 at the moment. That mutual frag is, I think, it's really important.
Yeah, that is a crazy trade that affects it so much more than it looks just on the level here of the actual surface. It really runs deep on that one. It's scary stuff because we basically only have 1 minute and 20 left as well. If there was a chance for base to get back in the game, it's pretty much gone off the back of that. It would have to be flawless from this point forward. Vengeur, adopting that slower playstyle as well, has isolated and starved out any chance for base to get a frag and get himself headroom back in the game. We are in the final minute now.
Yeah, Vengeur can smell victory, but he does not want to do what happened on Blood Run versus Kelson. He cannot drop this. Got himself some nice armor, and now it's about killing the time. Base has got to do things like rocket jump up now. He has to take risks. The routes that he's taking are just so long-winded. Okay, he's got the mega health, but then he rocket jumps to get there, so his armor's not as in shape as it could be. It's just he's just taking. He's like, well, I'm gonna make the comeback, but first I need this. Oh, but I need this as well. Oh, and I need this. And sometimes you've got to take the 5%ers, the 1%ers, if you want to make the comeback this time. There's the rocket jump up, but even if something works now, it is too late. Oh, and the acid spit is still gonna get the kill. That's double digits there for Vengeur.
That is beautiful. The spits he's been using have been so effective at controlling the actual map, but also just doing an absolute ton of damage. Rockets going out as well, connecting back across. Base so incredibly low. Luckily, gets himself some extra HP there, but that's just a mere consolation prize. The true victor, of course, will be Vengeur. The beauty of this man, Zoo, is the fact that it doesn't matter who he's playing, it always seems like he sticks to his guns. He plays his play style.
Yeah, completely, and he still retains his clean streak unawoken.
Yeah.
Just pointing that out for anyone who doubted my prediction. And I also want to bring a nice little background, which probably should have said at the start. These two used to play on the same team together in the 2v2, so they're good friends. Vengeur basically helped teach Base English for the little English that Base knows, because although they weren't on the same team together and they couldn't speak to each other. And in 2v2 TDM, this is a pretty important thing to be able to do. So every day, Base would be on comm. They would spend a lot of time on comms with each other, but he would count to 60 with Vengeur, so that he could call out timings for items.
Ah, okay.
Well, I count to 59, I guess, because it's like, it is what it is. But so they'll basically be counting with each other, and I don't know. I just thought it was a kind of cute relationship that they had, where they had to make it work. Both very individually talented, but trying to cross some like very complicated communication boundaries, which we know how important it is in team games.
Yeah, breaking down the regional dialects barrier there over just persevering through so that the skill will prevail. Smart stuff, and we definitely saw some a close bond between the two in what we actually had in the action there. It was a pretty level-headed matchup, some trade kills as well that just go to see that connection we have between these two absolute incredible games.
Yeah, the acid spit taking him down. I felt like there was at least 2 occasions where the acid... I think there was actually 3 occasions where the acid killed him, and there was another occasion, but Vengeur just got the rocket off in time to deny it, so basically 4 times I think there was the acid kill. And there was the first frag of the game was one as well, where Base couldn't get to the Mega in time. So watch out for Vengeur's acid.
Yeah, avoid that. You don't want to stand in that. Don't stand in the acid. Although, you find it quite hard to. The fact that this man is so effective at actually just denying any map control based off the back of his acid, you can see he was incredibly smart with it. As you said, he's a good solo player for a reason. I feel like that translates quite easily in what he does in the server.
That's it. For like the percentage of times that he uses acid and how much it actually connects, or he usually ends up doing that, really, really high success rate for Vengeur. We do have Blood Run that we got next. We're going to move over to Base's map, so if you're a Base fan, don't worry. Base has played Vengeur's map pick. It's out of the way. Now he gets his map pick, and we should have an interesting ones on our hand here. I need to be reminded of the champions a little bit, but as we shortly get into game, this is Base's map to lose. He needs to find that success here.
Well, hopefully he can, right? If there's any opportunity, it would be now. It's also scary because Vengeur definitely seems like he plays an awful lot based off the momentum he builds for himself. So coming in with a very nice, commanding early win there. And the fact it looks so stylish as well, it could be scary in the sense where he could really be feeling himself right now, still living off the hype of that first map going into this. Unless Base just completely resets, it doesn't feel like he's a character that lets things go to heart very often. Base seems like someone that's always been quite level-headed, so I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't affect him too much.
Base is also, I mean, we've got a few players like that in the community where nothing really seems to phase them. And Base is a super light-hearted character. He's the jester of the community, if anything. We see that by kind of the opening sequence that he has, where he's doing his, I think, Kamehameha, or some people fight for the Hadouken.
The Hadouken.
Yeah, there's a couple of ways we can interpret that there, but that is just him in a nutshell. He's always doing funny, silly things, and on the entrances onto stage at lands, he's got a better pose than anybody else.
That's pretty good.
He doesn't do the thing that we see. So
just the over.
I respect this.
Yeah.
But he takes it to another level.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, that's stylish. Does he just come in doing one of those? that would be the intro pose. Like that would be the power play.
He's done so many different ones now. I can't even put my mind on it. We are cast away from Base's gestures, as I think we're jumping into game right now. We've got Eisen going versus Nyx here on Blood Run.
Well, let's get into this one. It should be some juicy stuff. Vengeur versus Base once again. Vengeur commanding win on the first map. What can he do here? Well, he won't be starting off with a tremendous opener, as Base has absolutely destroyed him there with the LG.
Yeah, Vengeur doesn't even use the Ghost Walk. I think he felt that he would be in such a weak position if he lost a lot of health and then, you know, couldn't do anything with the spawn. You can end up just getting farmed doing that. I'm surprised that he didn't Ghost Walk then. He could have got himself away with 100 armor. Now he's just barely surviving as Base is hitting like a truck with that lightning gun.
I like this from Base as well. The slower play, just listening out for the audio cues, trying to get the sound off to figure out exactly where his opponent is right now as Vengeur scurries around just above him. Going to pop out the turret as well to try and get a little bit of map control and defense there.
Hello. Goodbye. 1v1 with the turret. Vengeur wins this one. Only comment because we've seen some turrets victorious occasionally this season.
Do we see a kill on Brick with a turret?
I think so.
Yeah.
Brick's definitely had some hard times versus the turrets. They've got high skill ratings, so you really do have to watch out.
Those turrets are pretty strong in the right hands. Oh, Vengeur should
go
down here.
He's
surely
Ghost
the
Walks.
turret. Oh.
He gets out, but barely. That was scary. That turret's a really scary placement, actually.
Yeah, Vengeur was dropped straight into the snake pit there.
Well, there was a great clip actually on Reddit recently with, oh, hang on, I'll get some action in a second as Base respects. An attack and defend, a 1v2, and it's just the turret wins versus 2 players at the end of the match on match point. I think, yeah, respect turrets, guys. Don't, you know, they're not easy. They might be stationary, but they pull out some DPS.
Turrets are people too. Well, Base right now. He's been doing an awful lot of damage onto Vengeur, but he's still looking to try and get his claws back into him for a second frag. 2 minutes into the game so far. He has got a fairly healthy arsenal as well, as he's been able to equip most of the weapons he'll need to really do some damage at this point going forward, although he is low on ammo for his rocket. Just 2 remaining, Zoo.
Yeah, Vengeur's having a really hard time getting onto the sort of critical points of the map where he can really stack up properly, get his weapons with ease, and there's a little snap rail there from Base to unload another frag onto the board. It's just so... I don't want to say safe, it's just very, very disciplined play from Base. Hasn't realized that there is a Ghost Walk used. He manages to get the punish rail. It's super important that he landed that. He might find another in a moment, but it goes down the staircase. The angle could be gone forever. Oh, Vengeur comes back in. He's got to hit the rail, but he misses everything. That was tremendously brave from Vengeur.
I thought that was going to be the difference maker as well. The fact he still didn't have any extra rocket ammo, so he had no rockets left. We saw him try and get the rocket off. Oh, it could have just been so awkward. Luckily enough, though, Base is actually able to find that frag. Puts himself into a 3-0 lead right now. Vengeur, it's slipping through his fingers, but we still have tons of time, so do not count out the young mastermind just yet.
Yeah, he does need to get armor. He needs to make sure he has rocket rails and lightning gun. He's probably got most of the way there, in fairness. And now pushing forward. Actually, Base is in a lot of trouble. He hasn't done any damage at all. And it was a pretty clean frag on top of that. And there's the rockets. He can go down to get some more lightning gun ammunition. The mega health will spawn shortly. Rail to follow up. Can he hit another? He's got the machine gun. This is a brilliant weapon switch from him. And he'll easily lock down his second. And all of a sudden, Jackie, it looked like we were going to have a slow game where Vengeur fights tooth and nail to get back to 3. But he's done most of the job already.
That's what I mean. You just can't count this man out. He's so effective. The mechanical understanding is fantastic. And the way that he can just get behind you and you don't know where he is. If you can't find Vengeur, look behind you.
And that rocket jump was also so sick because it gave him the momentum to get right behind him. He wouldn't have been able to get that far otherwise. And Base just has no idea what hit him at that stage.
Turret down, as he's not a fan of the mechanical mastermind that currently is Base. Resets himself, incredibly close as well to actually getting that Ghost Walk back up off the back of the hourglasses. Could be death from above here, Zoop, but the railgun's been picked up by Base, and he's going to try and make full use of it. They're both landing rails, but it'll be an awkward firefight. He has to drop down. He's trying to kill him off the back of it. He gets so close to actually making it work, but the lightning gun will do the job instead.
I think he's just flown into the lead already. He's got to respect a bit the rockets off the spawn that Base has just acquired, but we've got mega health. One rocket hit, tries to knock him over the top. He doesn't get the mega health. On Base, that is. He does find his grave. That rocket to deny Mega was brilliant from Vengeur.
It's been so smooth. Like, the last 45 seconds alone have given a clear view of how effective this man can be. Nice movement as well, getting himself up into the heightened edge. Rocket's going to be coming through. Large collection, although it won't matter. His HP was lower, fully committing to the fight. Base was able to excel on that one, although he is quite low, Zoo. He's got no HP, just one left, and 80 armor. He has to retreat. Luckily, he gets away. That could have been awful.
Yeah, and a string of health bubbles that find him across the route. Vengeur, though, retains the lead, has that mega health control, and is starting to pick up those weapons again. We've got a very interesting blood run on our hands. How's Base going to work his way back into this? Because it's a lot harder to chase as an Aizen. Oh my god, 2 direct rockets! Vengeur flies into a little further lead. And actually from 1 frag lead to 2, it makes a big, big difference.
Yeah, Vengeur is the rocketeer right now, as he does not want to miss any of these beautiful rockets. Gets himself into a nice position as well. Going to pop the Ghost Walk early. That could actually be the kill off the back of it once again. It's so close, as he's just trying to give us these superstar plays. He's just going for finesse.
It is style, isn't it? It is just pure style that we're getting from Vengeur. He's so close to getting the perforations. Ron definitely got him trumped on that one. Well, this LG you got to watch out for a little bit. He does get through the teleporter, and look at the speed that he's keeping through those portals. And there's no big items up for a while, so he does need to chill a little bit. He has to hit that rail. Just flying past, but the easy ones are, the easy looking ones are often the hardest.
Well, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and Vengeur basically lands 100% of shots he does take, because he's incredibly accurate, but yet so sublime in the way that he does it, still dealing damage. Base is going to glide straight into his crosshairs as Vengeur will get another tag off for the meantime. Just playing a bit more defensive now, though. He does have a large lead, and he's also only got a few more minutes to try and run down this clock if he wants to walk away as the victor.
Oh, that was interesting. That Pace walks past, finds out too late that Vengeur's up there, and just continues on his merry way.
Oh, the response fire from the rocket. Luckily, he did have Ghost Walk up so he could get out, as that was not really a fight he actively wanted to try and partake in. He is quite low, at least recovering some stack on his way.
He has to take his time here, though. He has to figure out, okay, where's Base coming from? Gets through in the time, but there is a turret up there. There's light armor, but he misses the jump, so he just decides he's going to go for action instead. Rocket won't find the mark. A rail to make this worth it? Not going to be the case. Base gets a pretty clean frag, and now can finally get back on his ammunition. That you could see how little of it he had left.
8 minutes into the game here, Zoop. Vengeur, he's definitely showing that he is still going to be able to go large and in charge, but the victory is not set in stone just yet. Base, he could very easily bring this one back and keep it close, and this is his time to shine. Gets aggressive, bounds in, wanted to try and go for the initiation off the back of the lightning gun. Doesn't quite do what he wanted, but at least starts to put the feelers out. He's got to get 2 more kills, Zoop.
It's big already that he's forced out the Ghost Walk. Now it's just about locking him down. Can he find his position? He's been ruling out a lot of spots on the map just by the positions he was holding previously. But that missed attempt and that good defensive rocket from Vengeur means you've got to take a pot shot elsewhere. And that Ghost Walk is very soon coming back up. There's one rail, super important. There's a turret on the other side, which is what he was setting up, and he's been found! What a genius setup from Base, using the turret to its absolute maximum.
What's terrifying now, though, is the fact that Base, the technological terror, can still continue and dominate in this one. He has 1 minute left.
He's going to do exactly that again. I think he's going to put the turret in the side. The thing is, this time Vengeur's actually got the Ghost Walk, so he can avoid the damage a bit more easily. Oh, he doesn't push down to the blood pool. Did Vengeur take the... I think he took the bounce pad in the end.
We're drawing close to that final 30 seconds. Zoop Base, he definitely has the stack advantage going into what very could be our final fight here. But Vengeur, as long as he could just technically try and ghost his opponent and keep away, he can actually take this one based off the fact he's got the frag advantage. Base, he has to push the initiative. He's got to go for the fight. He's going to try and chase him down. Repositions. He's got the armor up. He's got a little bit of map control off the back of the turret as well. Suspects Vengeur's position, but look at him. He's taking it so slowly. It's just calculated stuff. The tag from the LG, 10 seconds. It's now or never. Vengeur just has to hide.
Yeah, Vengeur's done it well. He's got the Ghost Walk up. I think he's killed enough time. He didn't overcommit to any of the fake outs that Base is trying to send, and this time he avoids the last minute comeback from his opponent like it happened last week versus Kilson. He actually locks down the Blood Run and is now 2-0 up versus Base. His great performances are just continuing.
It's crazy. And that was actually ridiculously close on so many levels as well. Even just for face value, you can look at it and go, okay, 6-7, that's ridiculously tight. But that whole game was just non-stop. Both of them basically trading for dominance between each other.
Yeah, super back and forth. Absolutely love that. These are kind of blood runs that I enjoy seeing. Unfortunately for Base, he couldn't continue that momentum. I think he went a bit passive. You know, when he was putting that turret up, I was like, why don't you just drop to the blood pool and try? Because at least you're going to force out the Ghost Walk at that point. And because in the last 20 to 30 seconds he still had to force out the Ghost Walk before then being able to lock down the kill, I think that was too much. The opportunity had maybe already been missed.
It is absolutely wild. I mean, Vengeur's definitely been putting on a show for us tonight, but Base is still showing that he has so much fight left in him. Going into the third map, obviously at this point, you know, Vengeur, he's walking away with the series. That is set in stone. However, I still feel like this could go 2-1. Base has just been looking better and better the more time we actually have with him here amongst us. Obviously, Vengeur, if he doesn't drop a map here, he'll be just proving how unbeatable and how ridiculous he's looking right now individually, those Zoots. So that is probably the crowning achievement he's hoping for.
Yeah, indeed. I think we're going over to Vale next. I believe that Base is playing BJ, and I'm pretty sure that Vengeur's playing Do. That should be very interesting. They're both very good, respectively, of those champions.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what can be done. High DPS, you know, you've got the akimbo of BJ versus a lot of high mobility and insanity that you can get from Doom.
I'm a big fan of the double BJ plays. That's normally where the pure damage starts to come through. That always shows me what I want to see when it comes down to those double lightning guns. So hopefully we get some of that on the line. Also, though, in terms of the sickening rows that we've been seeing over the course of the day, again, we're seeing some beautiful shots coming out. Everyone is looking on form tonight.
Yeah, and I think that these two guys are showing why they are currently at the top of the ladder. I've always got space in my heart for Kilson. I think he's still basically at the top two, but these guys showing that they're absolutely worth fighting over these spots right now because we're getting some very clean shots from all of them. We're getting some high-level play, and you can tell how much they want just by how they're playing versus each other in these matches. Even if it's a 2-0, Base is giving us some brilliant gameplay at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's what's nice about this series in particular as well, because it's providing us with a lot of insight on that higher-level style of Quake play between both of them. It's not someone having a slight edge, sort of say to like 20% to the other opponent there. Both of them are pretty neck and neck in terms of what we're seeing from their skill caliber right now. The understanding of the game, the movement is there, the aim is beautiful, and also just the game sense in the way they're approaching it. It's a constant battle between both of them in who's making the correct decision, where are errors going to pop up into their playstyle. So it's really quite beautiful to witness.
Yeah, and I think I mean, we'll find out after if I'm wrong or not, but Vengeur said that he might have a bye week very soon, so he wants to get as many points as possible ASAP, because as soon as you have a bye week, everyone else is working to get those points. You're static, fully stationary on the leaderboards while everyone else tries to catch up. So if he can get a +8, he knows he's going to be in really good spirits, and I think he will actually keep his #1 spot in EU no matter what happens next week, because he's already got #1.
Yeah, he would give himself such a ridiculous lead that at that point it would just be basically, out of this planet. It wouldn't be achievable. So if that's what he wants to do, he's only got one more map to prove that he can still strat his stuff to such a high level on, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did it at this point, just to prove a point of where he is at right now, because he does look unreal.
I also can't wait to see our EU CIS leaderboards at the end, but Jackie, we're here. We are in our last map of EU and CIS region before we head over to the Americas.
Yep, and let's see if this one is going to be a treat. One final glorious send-off here for EU. As Vengeur comes in early, going to be able to find himself two lovely weapons that he'll want to wield going forward. He's got the rocket, he's also got the railgun to play with. Oh, although there is some death from above, getting rained straight onto him.
Oh, he comes back in and gets curious. And Base punishes that curiosity, but look at those two rockets. That is huge damage from Vengeur. He's going to try and pile in onto the heavy, is rewarded with it. These flicks that he's going for, we're seeing a lot of confidence from Vengeur at the moment.
Oh, it's an awkward firefight, both of them in such close proximity.
Oh my god.
The pop there coming through though, luckily he's actually able to get away. That could have been awful. The Akimbo is on show.
Yeah, he's just wanted that instant speed boost from the Berserk. Up to that 500 UPS, I believe it is, and just escape that angle before any more harm comes. But through the teleporter, he guesses correctly, and he manages to get himself first blood. Vengeur, is he continuing this reign of terror?
Vengeur the Destroyer. Currently a god among men into these as he just keeps firing out those rockets, getting so much splash damage off, resets his armor as well.
I just don't know how he keeps finding these direct rockets as well. The amount of damage he's outputting with the rockets when you least expect it is unbelievable.
Oh, it's just impeccable the way he plays it.
Oh, nice little rocket jump there from base, secures the armor. Vengeur's going to want to fight for this mega health. Base not going to follow through the teleporter. Smart idea from him, but he managed to get the LG. Vengeur wasn't expecting it, but he turns around, lightning gun to rail, and suddenly Base regrets all the moves. These rockets are they're just stupid at this point. What's happening?
It is absolutely mental the way this is being approached right now. Already 2 kills for Vengeur. He has just been dominant and dastardly in the way that he navigates around the map and starts just putting some crazy frags on the scoreboard. 2 minutes and 20 down, but it feels like it's been a lifetime with some of the high-quality pickoffs that he's been doing. That's another one to add to it as well! Base obliterated there by Vengeur. There is no stopping this man!
The way that all happened is just ridiculous. I think Base actually jumped on Vengeur's head when he rocket jumped up, and then Vengeur still turned around and hit some insane mid-air. I mean, what the hell is going on in this game? Finds his way through the teleporter. Base. Oh, it just gets popped on the exit. 4-0, and somehow Vengeur's going to cling on to this. We definitely need that frag over at Mega last time. Oh my god, that was... You see that so rarely.
Absolutely sickening stuff being given to us right now from Vengeur. You can see just the way he's approaching this as well. The systematical mastermind, just analysing the situation. Doesn't want to put a single foot in the wrong position. Just playing it perfectly. LG in hand, starts connecting it with a beautiful trace across, doesn't want to miss a trick at this point. Fighting up is going to be hard for him, but he just makes it look oh so easy.
Gets over to the mega health, that was important, that he's able to keep some shared control at least. And he's also been able to have some good damage output, so it does feel like Vengeur slowed the game down a little bit because it was getting kind of chaotic. And this is doing him some favors at the moment. Sometimes you just need to take a breath, and then you continue the mental plays. That hurts though. Base suddenly getting a huge output of damage, and Vengeur needs to find a way to recover.
This is just pure madness at this point. 4 minutes on the clock. Vengeur. He realizes he has such a lengthy lead, he doesn't need to really overcompensate or overcommit. He can just afford to roam around and just try and burn down as much time from the clock as possible. Sets himself up in a nice angle as well. Base could jump right into this, unsuspecting the defensive play. He does get him low, but both of them might actually have to try and back off at this point. This could be risky for Vengeur. It could work out wrong, but instead, it's the rocket up. He knocks him into the air and then slaps him straight down with a railgun. What is this?
Vengeur. What is he doing to us? Oh, Base finally shuts it down. There's the dual wield. Yeah, Vengeur needs to be tamed somehow. Is Base the one to do it? There's still plenty of time. The score isn't even that high on this map at all. It's just the nature of these fights have been... I mean, this is some seriously high-level combat skills we're witnessing. And we're witnessing it from both the players is the thing. What Base is doing is phenomenal. What Vengeur is doing is out of this world.
It is just crazy. Some of the shots that have been landed are, I mean, they're going to be in that highlight reel for sure. Vengeur wants to give us even more, I think, although Base, maybe this is his opportunity to shine. Gets himself in a good spot, grabs the armor, landed one little lovely rail. There's the follow-up as well. Vengeur just going to be feeding off his HP pool now. Oh, it was so close, but it isn't going to be the devastating blow from Base there, Zook.
I think if Base, instead of going to the lightning gun, just went straight through the teleporter, he probably would have caught Vengeur off guard a little bit. Doesn't quite find the rail up the bounce pad. I think Vengeur's trying to think of what is the optimal way to play this, and at the moment he just gets totally dispatched. Vengeur, I think he's trying to slow it down maybe a little bit too much almost.
The double LG, this is what I live for. The Akimbo railguns coming through as well, but they're not actually going to be slammed out today. Base, he can't use that active ability to propel himself towards the winning position, although he is landing the rails. Vengeur is so low. Base can deny this as well. Knew where he was possibly heading towards, wanted to try and deny it on the drop down to grab the armor. Instead, finds himself a bit of a stalemate on his own, giving Vengeur time to restock himself and put him to a better position. The rocket jump up, Base. He might have the high ground and the mega health, but can he get the kill?
I'm actually slightly scared for Vengeur. He's been unbelievable, but oh, the botched rocket jump, that gives Vengeur some prep time. He's on his head for a second, still finds a way out. He's got to get those defensive rockets in. Somehow works out for him. But that's it, missed rocket jump, and then the opportunity, it flips on its head all of a sudden. 5 seconds until the heavy. What's Base's approach? He's got the dual wheel, looks on immediately on the exit, but the nail gun is taking him apart!
Oh, Zoot, that's the worst way to die. You've gone for the Akimbo play. Both of the rockets through, missing every single blow that came out. Oh, this is not going well at all. Just the rails connecting back onto him as well. Vengeur right now, he's back in the driving seat.
He was right by the window. He was being played out by his own game, but the rockets again. Is he looking for the rail? LG's the safe bet, but he goes with the machine gun. Base unlocks that. I know that his ammunition was in a funny position, but I feel like Vengeur got a little bit sloppy at the end there, and he's going to get hunted down. Oh, the punch! He gets one punch, I think, and then Base kills himself with the rockets.
This is crazy. Some of the plays that have been coming through on this final map have really been at a higher grade. The double rocket, surely not. He was trying to get the play off for Base. It's not going to work out. Vengeur, once again, asserting his dominance, spots him out, trying to pre-fire it with the rocket, wants to blow his feet clean off and make it cheaper for him to buy shoes. As he gets up close and personal, the lightning gun will overthrow him, as that one was a shocker.
That was a brilliant bit of LG we just saw from Base, but he's hurting. He's still chasing. He's taking the risk. He manages to dodge the rail, and that allows him to get back in the game a bit closer. 2 minutes to go. 2 frags left. How is Vengeur going to shut this one down? If he's going to shut it down at all.
Base nipping at Vengeur's heel there as he fired off the awkward rocket, although he is taking an absolute ton of face damage on the initial peek back out towards Vengeur. He does have the Akimbo ready to try and slay when he's in a good position, but he's got to get into that position. He needs to do so quickly as well. 1 minute and 30 left here, Zoot. If there is any chance for him to deny all 3 maps going the way of Vengeur, it is literally having to happen right now.
Base, he can go for this rotation of items, and then he's got to go after it. Vengeur, I think he actually has to put a stop to this. He's going to put himself up the upper position. Bit of rockets. Dual-wheeled out, trying to search for those rails. He's not going to have dual-wheeled on the rest of the chase, but he has got a decent amount of resources.
Oh, he goes straight in for it with the LG out. He wants to try and make sparks fly on this one. Instead, he'll be rocketeering his way up as he gets that kill. 7-6, Vengeur. He still has the lead, but Base is now so close to being able to equalize it.
Vengeur's probably got himself the rockets and the lightning gun at this stage. Oh, he misses the jump! He has to jump up again, takes LG damage, and now the Mega Health's going to go over to Vengeur. Tiny little movement slip up, which cost some resources to fix the situation. Vengeur's already got the Mega Health, and he's already got the hell out of there.
30 seconds, Vengeur. He can afford to approach this one so slowly now, whereas Base, it has to be the exact opposite. This is where we've seen so much mayhem this entire time. Vengeur gets Base down incredibly low. He has to retreat, at least get some HP to try and sustain himself, but with 20 seconds left on the clock, it has to go down right now. They've got to duke it out. He's just going to be able to avoid him for the meantime. 10 seconds left, goes in with a rocket jump, tries to get the connection off, but it will not land. He does have the Akimbo, pops it with the lightning guns. He gets behind him, Zoot, but he can't find it. Tries to burn his way through him. He's doing damage, but he's barely missing. The rockets won't connect. That's the miss on the rail as well. And Vengeur navigates his way through flawlessly to take the victory at a 7-6 scoreline.
What an absolutely ludicrous series. What an unbelievable map that we've just had. Base fighting for it for the very, very last second. He almost made that happen. I was thinking, you're